Crazy news in Formula One here today, but before we go to see all the news and headlines, make sure to subscribe for more F1 content. But to go straight to it, Charles Leclerc and Alexandra got married. They've been, the staple of the paddock, the couple of F1 for a few years now. And just huge congratulations to them. No one, I never heard about them like the wedding day, so I guess everything was a secret. But huge congrats to Charles, my favorite driver. Obviously, been watching F1. Since I've been watching F1, so huge congrats to him. But for the real stuff now, the FIA and the F1 officials are closely monitoring the escalating tensions that's happening in the Middle East, and knowing the F1 schedule and in the calendar, there's two races that they have down in the Middle East, which is the Bahrain Grand Prix and then also the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Personally, my favorite track. People don't rate that track, but for me, it's one of my favorite tracks. Driving it in the game, obviously in F1, and also watching, but people, I guess, don't see it the same way. But they're huge. It could happen. Those two races could be out of the calendar. Pirelli has confirmed that it was scheduled for a wet tire test in Bahrain, I think with McLaren, and it was canceled today because of the escalations that's happening in the Middle East. If people don't know what's happening, Iran became the first country to strike Saudi, UAE, Kuwait, Jordan, Bahrain, and Qatar in one day. I don't know what's going on in the Middle East. All I know is the US is getting involved, but that's a whole different topic. But hey, listen to Hamilton, bro. Come on. Pretty much the same thing what I said earlier. Our next few races in Australia, China, Japan, not in the Middle East, so those races are not going to be affected. The Saudi Arabian and Bahrain Grand Prix is going to happen later on. Before, Bahrain used to be the first race of the season. So thankfully, since they changed it, I'm pretty sure for weather conditions, they moved it on like mid of the season. So it's cool to not have it affect any of the at least first couple of races. They always say they stated that, as always, we'll closely monitor in any situation like this and work closely with relevant authorities. You want the safety of the drivers, you want the safety of the team and the people. That's what matters. I see this when I went on Twitter, laughing my ass off. People logged into the app and saw that there's a war going on, but the first thought is, oh my god, aren't F1 and WC going to be there soon? That's my first thought. I'm like, no. Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, one of my favorites, but it's what it is. And I can't wait to watch 2026 F1 season. The world leaders just attacking each other. Sadly, that's the life we live in. But besides all the war and tension stuff, Lewis Hamilton comes out and says, "This is the most trained I've ever felt between seasons. I'm pushing hard every day to show up stronger than ever this year." Of course, Lewis Hamilton had a really disappointing first season with Ferrari after making the huge move, leaving his team Mercedes, who's been there for years. He was the staple, the face of the Mercedes brand and the F1 team, and for leave to Ferrari, it's huge. It's one of the probably biggest sports moves across variety of other sports, has ever happened, and it was not a season to remember for Lewis Hamilton. Sometimes even failing to make it out of Q3. It was really he won a sprint race, but besides that, he had a terrible year. But now, with the Ferrari, people are saying and looking good. Lewis Hamilton is trained. Charles Leclerc, the fastest on track. Hopefully, Ferrari could be in contention to win the WDC this year. The Monaco Grand Prix, this is what they changed recently. It was a two-stop last season, but it's going to revert back to a being in line with the rest of the F1 tracks, meaning it's not mandatory anymore. People are saying it's still going to be a snooze fest. I mean, it's going back to original status, and people are saying it's going to be even more boring than it is. Two-stop was already boring enough. It doesn't really affect crazy. I see no difference really. A two-step, one-step. Monaco is going to be Monaco like always. Who knows? Maybe with these new cars will be different, but I mean, two-step, one-step, nothing is going to really change upon that. And Audi states that they have a good start in their 2026 package. Their engine is expected to be competitive with the Audi R26, seen as a strong midfield car. And as last season, Kick, or what you want to call this, Kick, Sauber, Audi, they looked good last year. I think Nico Hülkenberg is such an underrated driver. I think he deserves to get a top seat somewhere. When McLaren were actually good during the early 2024, 2023, start with Fernando Alonso getting podiums, I was like, drop Stroll, put in Nico Hülkenberg. You can see he did really good for Haas in qualifying. He won Sauber, or he got a podium with Sauber. He has he's 100% has the skill and power to be it. So give him a good car, and I guarantee you he's gonna win a race. But that's huge for Audi and Nico Hulkenberg, and hopefully we'll see him back in the podium after that debacle Lego thing that he had last year.